The star cluster named Leora had always been a place of calm life. Many peaceful species lived there, and they believed they understood every corner of their region. Their days passed with harmony and cooperation. Their council worked together to protect knowledge and guide young civilizations. For many years, no major surprise came from the far edges of space. The members of the council thought the galaxy was gentle and slow. Nothing seemed strong enough to disturb their steady peace. Mira served as the leader of the Council of Leora. She belonged to a thoughtful species that valued learning and patience. Mira had lived through many seasons of the star cluster. She had watched new planets join their alliance and had guided many young species in their early steps. Mira was calm, wise, and respected. She believed Leora would remain quiet for centuries. She never expected anything unusual to arrive out of the dark sky. Early one morning, Mira stood inside the main hall of the central station. Large screens showed the soft glow of nearby stars. She enjoyed moments like this because they reminded her of the long journeys of her ancestors. Suddenly, the calm sound of the hall changed. A loud alert filled the room. The lights turned bright red, and the screens displayed a strange pattern. Mira felt her breath slow as she stepped toward the controls. A technician named Rian rushed toward her. He looked worried. He said the station had received a signal from a distant spiral arm that no one had visited in a very long time. The signal came with a strength they had never measured before. It carried organized patterns that clearly showed intelligence. Rian did not understand the meaning yet and asked if he should block the signal or send it to deeper analysis. Mira shook her head gently and asked him to open the message. The hall turned silent. For a long moment, the only sound was the hum of the machines. Then a new pattern filled the screens. The symbols moved in a repeating motion. Every member of the council began whispering. No one had ever seen a structure like this. The signal carried a rhythm that sounded firm and confident. Mira realized the meaning was not a warning. It felt like a request for contact. The council gathered at once. Representing many species, they took seats across the curved table in the center of the hall. Mira explained the nature of the signal. Some members looked excited. Others felt uneasy. They discussed the possibilities. One elder believed it might come from a species looking for help. Another thought it could be from ancient travelers who disappeared long ago. A younger member suggested it might be a test. Each idea created a wave of new questions. The council needed to decide what to do. Mira thought deeply. She said they were a peaceful alliance and had always welcomed new knowledge. Turning away from a message would go against their values. She suggested they respond with a simple greeting and invite the unknown visitors to a neutral meeting zone. The council agreed. They hoped the visitors would be friendly and respectful. They prepared a carefully crafted response. The message was sent through safe channels. Now all they could do was wait. Days passed slowly. Everyone in Leora kept watching the skies. Then one night, a new signal arrived. This time the message said the visitors accepted the invitation. Their fleet was already on the way. The arrival time was calculated. The council chose their largest gathering station for the meeting. It was a giant ring-shaped structure near a calm blue star. The station team worked hard to decorate the halls with bright banners and displays of welcome. They prepared gifts made of clear stones and fragrant plants. Many species arrived to witness the first contact. They expected the visitors to be gentle travelers like themselves. No one imagined how different the new species would be. The day of arrival came. Myra stood with her team in the central landing bay. The bay was filled with warm lights and soft music. The station was quiet, except for the gentle hum of energy. Everyone watched the large doors. A deep sound echoed when the visiting ship approached. The ship looked silver and strong. Its shape was unlike anything the council had seen before. It had firm edges and heavy framing, as if built to endure storms. The ship landed with smooth control. For a moment the bay was silent. Then the main door of the ship opened. A group of visitors stepped out. They moved with balanced steps and confident posture. Their leader introduced himself as Aaron. He said his species was called humans. He spoke in a clear tone. His voice carried strength without aggression. He looked around the bay with calm eyes, as if he had faced many challenges before. The council members stared quietly. Humans looked very different from the gentle species of Leora. Their bodies showed signs of surviving harsh climates. Their muscles were firm. Their skin showed tones shaped by strong sunlight. They stood on the solid floor with natural ease. The air inside the bay was thinner than normal gravity. Halls but the humans moved as if they had trained for heavier conditions. Mira stepped forward to greet Aaron. She felt a mix of surprise and curiosity. She could sense that these visitors came from a world that pushed them to grow strong. Aaron bowed his head politely and thanked her for the invitation. He explained that his people came from a distant planet called Earth. Earth was a place full of mountains, deserts, deep oceans, and strong storms. Humans grew up in an environment that demanded courage and constant learning. The council seemed amazed. Many species in Leora lived on warm planets with soft landscapes. They never imagined a world like Earth. The more Aaron explained, the more Mira understood why some old stories in the galaxy called humans Deathworlders. The word did not mean they brought harm. It meant they lived on a planet full of challenges. Their strength came from surviving nature rather than conflict. Aaron asked if his team could explore the station. Mira agreed. As they walked through the halls, many aliens gathered to watch. They whispered gently as humans passed. They noticed how humans looked at every detail. They studied machines, star maps, and structural walls. Their curiosity seemed endless. They acted with discipline. When one human examined a device, another took notes. Their teamwork looked natural and efficient. Mira guided Aaron to the council hall. Along the way, she asked him about his journey. Aaron said they had traveled many months through quiet space. They had learned about the Leora cluster through faint readings from old probes. They wanted to meet peaceful civilizations and share knowledge. Aaron said humans had a long history of struggle, but had grown more cooperative with time. They valued alliances and believed in learning from others. Inside the council hall, Mira introduced Aaron to the elders and young members. Aaron thanked them for the warm welcome. He spoke gently, even though his voice held clear strength. He said his species admired the peaceful harmony of Leora and hoped to build trust. A council member named Sira asked Aaron how humans survived the harsh conditions of their world. Aaron answered calmly. He said humans used science, teamwork, and endurance. They built shelters near mountains. They created strong tools to protect their farms. They learned to travel across storms. They kept improving their methods with each generation. They also learned that kindness helped communities survive better than fear. Sira listened with awe. She said many species in Leora avoided dangerous places. Hearing that humans lived on a planet filled with challenges surprised her. Aaron smiled and said that challenges shaped character. He said, Earth taught them patience, strength, and empathy. The council asked Aaron many more questions. Aaron answered each one with honesty. He talked about human art and music. He talked about the way humans told stories to keep hope alive. He described nights when families gathered under the stars and shared dreams for the future. The council felt touched. They saw humans not as beings of danger, but as travelers who carried deep values. After many hours, the council ended. The first session. Mira thanked Aaron and told him the next days would include tours and knowledge exchanges. Aaron agreed and said his team looked forward to learning more about Laura as the meeting ended. Mira stood near the window and gazed at the sky. The stars looked the same as before, yet something felt different. A new chapter had opened for Leora. The arrival of the humans brought a feeling of change. Mira wondered what the future would hold. She sensed that this meeting was only the beginning of a long and meaningful journey. The next morning, the station of Leora felt charged with new energy. Word had spread fast that humans had arrived. Every corridor seemed filled with quiet excitement. Species from many planets wanted to see the visitors with their own eyes. Some felt nervous. Some felt amazed. Some wondered if humans would bring new ideas that could reshape their whole understanding of the galaxy. Aaron woke early and gathered his team in the landing bay. His group worked with a clear routine. They checked their suits, examined their tools, and reviewed the schedule Mira gave them. Even simple tasks were completed with focus. The way they stood and moved made it clear that they were used to life on a world that demanded readiness at all times. Mira arrived soon.
After.
She noticed how humans seemed fully awake and prepared even though the artificial day cycle was different from Earth's cycle. Aaron greeted her with a friendly smile. Myra said the council had arranged a long tour of the station to help the humans learn about Leora. She also said many scientists hoped to share their work. Aaron accepted the plan with gratitude. He explained that humans wanted to understand how different species cooperated in this cluster. His team had studied many star maps, but no map could show the harmony Mira's people had built over centuries. Mira led the humans into the first hall. It was large, filled with transparent screens and floating symbols. This was the knowledge chamber. The chamber stored the histories of many civilizations. A guide named Laura explained how each symbol represented a story, an invention, or a major event. She activated a display that showed peaceful migrations, the rise of new planets, and the growth of farms on gentle worlds. Aaron watched carefully. His eyes followed every movement of the symbols. He asked questions about energy sources, farming systems, and travel routes. His curiosity impressed the guide. She said humans seemed quick to learn. Aaron said Earth taught them to adapt fast. When storms or harsh seasons arrived, humans had no choice but to understand new conditions and adjust. As they moved through the chamber, members of different species stopped to observe the humans. Many whispered in awe. Some were surprised at the confident posture of the visitors. Others admired their calm expressions. A young alien approached Aaron shyly and asked if humans were always this strong. Aaron knelt down slightly to match the young alien's height and said human strength came from survival, not from force. He said strength was something one earned by facing nature with patience. Mira watched this moment closely. She felt her earlier worries fading. Aaron's gentle answers showed that humans valued kindness, along with resilience. She continued the tour and brought the group to the engineering wing. There they found a team repairing one of the station's energy collectors, the chief engineer. A soft-spoken alien named Naro explained how energy flowed through the station and how each part needed careful balance. Aaron listened and then asked if he could see the internal structure. Naro agreed and opened a panel. Aaron studied the wires and energy lines with interest. He pointed out a feature that looked similar to systems used on Earth. His team nodded and took notes. Naro felt impressed. He told Myra that humans understood engineering more quickly than expected. Mira smiled. She said humans had a long history of building shelters, bridges, and tools in rough environments. Force of nature had made them creative and careful builders. As the tour continued, Aaron's team also displayed their own knowledge. In one room filled with star charts, a human named Leanne explained the way humans predicted weather on Earth using long-distance sensors. She showed how they used patterns and temperature to warn cities of strong storms. Many alien scientists listened with interest. They had gentle climates on their planets and never needed such tools. Learning about advanced survival systems gave them new ideas for future research. Later, the group entered the Hall of Cultures. This hall displayed art, music, and traditions from many species. Mira explained how each culture added beauty to the cluster. Humans viewed a set of paintings that showed peaceful festivals, star dances, and colorful celebrations. Aaron admired the art and said humans also used art to express hope during dark times. A musician from a distant moon asked Aaron if humans created music too. Aaron smiled and said music was a deep part of human life. He described how people played instruments around warm fires during cold nights. He said music helped humans stay united and gave comfort during difficult seasons. The musician asked if Aaron knew any human songs. Aaron did not sing, but he described the melody of an old Earth tune. The aliens listened closely and imagined the sound. They said it felt like a memory of courage. After the cultural tour, Mira led the humans to a large observation deck. Clear windows stretched across the wall and allowed them to see the soft glow of the nearby star. The light spread gently across the station. Humans walked to the window and observed the view with calm wonder. Aaron stood beside Mira. He said the sight reminded him of open nights on Earth when stars filled the sky. Mira asked him how humans felt when they looked at the stars back home. Aaron answered that humans felt small but inspired. He said the universe showed them how much there was to learn and explore. He also said humans believed they were part of a larger story. Mira appreciated the answer. She told Aaron the council hoped humans would help them explore distant regions that were too dangerous for delicate species. Aaron said humans would be honored to assist. He added that exploration was in their nature. As they continued observing the stars, a soft tone filled the station. Mira received a message through her communicator. It came from the science tower. The message said a strong energy wave had been detected on the far side of the station. Engineers worried it could affect the power grid. Mira looked at Aaron with concern. Aaron asked if they needed help. Mira hesitated. She did not want to trouble the humans on their first visit, but the message sounded serious. She finally said the station might face a minor disturbance. Aaron turned to his team and instructed them to prepare for possible assistance. Mira felt grateful for his willingness to help. They hurried toward the engineering sector. As they arrived, the station shook slightly. Lights flickered. Many aliens panicked and backed away from the walls. They were not used to strong energy waves. Mira tried to calm them, but tension filled the air. Aaron acted immediately. He asked Naro for a report. Naro showed that the energy wave had hit a main support line. The line had overheated and was close to shutting down. If it failed, several important systems would lose power. Aaron told his team to split into groups. One group checked the upper-level connectors. Another group examined the main routes. Aaron himself climbed a narrow support frame to reach a high panel. He moved with confident balance. The structure shook slightly, but it did not bother him. Humans from Earth were used to unstable ground and shifting surfaces. Mira watched with surprise. She saw how humans worked together with calm communication. They passed tools to each other. They explained each step clearly. Their rhythm looked practiced and steady. Even as sparks flew from a damaged panel, humans stayed focused and controlled. Naro followed Aaron's instructions. He inserted a stabilizer plate where Aaron pointed. Aaron rerouted the energy flow and asked his team to reconnect the main line. Leanne worked quickly and sealed a broken connector. Another human secured the lower clamps. The station shook again, but less than before. A moment later, the lights brightened. The entire power grid stabilized. A calm tone played through the halls. The emergency warning stopped. Naro breathed with relief. He thanked Aaron and his team. Mira stepped forward and thanked them as well. She said humans had saved the station from a major failure. Aaron replied that it was natural to help. He said humans believed that strength meant responsibility. Word spread across the station. Many aliens gathered in the hall to see the humans who had stopped the disturbance. They looked at the visitors with new respect. Some bowed. Others raised their hands in greeting. Mira addressed the crowd. She said the humans brought calm strength from their world. She explained that the station was safe because of their teamwork. The crowd cheered softly. They had never seen such balance of skill and kindness. Aaron felt humbled. He said humans only did what any good ally would do. He told Mira their goal was cooperation, not pride. Mira admired his sincerity. Later, when the halls grew quiet again, Mira invited Aaron to a private chamber. She said the council wanted to speak with him the next day. They hoped to discuss deeper partnerships. Aaron agreed and said humans were ready to join peaceful efforts. As Mira walked back to her quarters, she felt a deep sense of change. The humans had arrived only one day ago, yet they had already earned trust. Mira sensed that the future of Leora would never be the same. Part 2 ends here. The station of Leora entered a new day with a sense of renewed energy. The news of the humans fixing the power lines spread through every sector. Many species spoke about the moment with wide admiration. Some had feared the energy wave. Some had panicked as systems flickered. But the memory that stayed strongest in their minds was how the humans acted with calm discipline. They did not worry or freeze. They moved with steady purpose and brought safety back to the station. Aaron and his team rested only a short time, for they prepared for another day of learning and cooperation. Humans were used to long hours and changing conditions. They did not feel tired easily because Earth trained them to remain ready. Aaron gathered his team at the landing bay and reviewed the plan for the day. They would meet the council again, study new systems, and visit the outer ring of the station where shield controls were maintained. Mira approached the group with a warm smile. She thanked them again for their efforts the day before. Aaron said they only did what they believed was right. Mira admired the humility in his tone. She said there was more to explore, and she hoped the humans would enjoy the new sections of the station. The tour began at the Science Tower. This tall structure held laboratories and observation chambers. Scientists from many species studied cosmic dust, star growth, and rare minerals. The tower stood high above the main rings and gave a wide view of the glowing star. Aaron and his team followed Mira through the entrance as the scientists prepared their displays. A scientist named Kel led them to the first laboratory. Kel explained that his team studied particles found near quiet stars. He showed a floating screen with a cluster of glowing points. These particles reacted to small changes in energy. Kel said they used the particles to track movement in distant space. Aaron observed the screen and asked how the particles behaved under stronger fields. Kel said they rarely used high energy because their species lacked protection against strong radiation. Aaron nodded and explained how humans used layered shields and heat-resistant suits. Kel listened carefully and asked if humans could teach them to design safer equipment. Aaron agreed and said they could share simple methods. The next room displayed a group of small machines used for tracking star winds. A human named Leanne compared them to wind sensors on Earth. She explained how humans measured storms in deep oceans by placing devices far from land. The scientists listened with great interest. They had never faced storms like those on Earth. They asked Leanne how humans survived such conditions. Leanne said humans worked in teams and planned ahead. She said they always respected the power of nature. After the science tour, Mira took the humans to the shield control ring. This ring protected the station from small asteroids and stray energy waves. It was a wide circular corridor that wrapped around the outer structure. The corridor was filled with glowing panels and long metal frames. Aaron studied the design with care. The chief of the shield ring, a tall alien named Farron, greeted the humans. Farron said he wished to show them how shields shifted during strong hits. He activated a simulation. The walls displayed a large image of an asteroid moving toward the station. The shields glowed bright blue and pushed the object away in the simulation. Aaron watched with focus. He asked how often the ring faced real threats. Farron said the region was mostly calm, but sometimes fragments from forgotten zones drifted unexpectedly. The humans nodded and said Earth had similar dangers from meteors. Aaron said humans learned to scan the sky at all times because one dangerous object could change everything. As they continued their walk through the ring, sudden sound echoed across the corridor. It was loud and unfamiliar. Mira paused and touched her communicator. A message came from the monitoring room. A new energy wave had been detected. It looked stronger than the one from the previous day. Mira felt concern rise. Farron opened a panel and checked the readings. The wave was moving fast toward the outer ring. The shields would hold, but some systems inside the station might feel the impact. Mira looked at Aaron. Aaron said his team was ready. Before anyone could react further, the wave struck. The station shuddered. Lights dimmed. Several support beams trembled. A few panels sparked. The floor vibrated under their feet, and many aliens stumbled. Some grabbed the railings, while others dropped to their knees. Humans stayed balanced. They placed their feet firmly and kept their bodies steady. Their instincts from Earth helped them stay calm when the ground shook. Aaron turned to Mira and asked where help was needed. Mira said the main support frame for the shield ring needed reinforcement. If it weakened, the ring could fail during another wave. Aaron told his team to move. They ran toward the support zone. Farron guided them to the unstable frame. The frame was large, filled with thick metal beams and energy lines. Sparks flew from one side. A panel had broken loose and hung at an angle. Some aliens tried to reach it, but the shaking made it difficult. A human named Soren stepped forward. He climbed the frame with strong grip. He moved carefully, but with confidence. Humans on Earth often climbed cliffs and tall structures during hard weather. These skills now served him well. Soren reached the loose panel and secured it while Aaron and Leanne checked the lower connectors. Mira watched in awe. She saw how humans moved with natural strength. They did not panic when the frame shook again. Their bodies adjusted with ease. They worked like they had trained for years for such moments. Aaron directed his team with short, clear instructions. Everyone responded quickly. Farron brought tools to help. Aaron thanked him and asked him to hold tension on a support bar while they secured a new locking clamp. Farron did his best, but his arms shook from the effort. Aaron noticed and placed his hand over Farron's to steady it. His strength kept the bar in place without strain. Together they locked the frame. Another small wave passed. The station vibrated again, but the repaired frame held firm. Aaron checked the readings on the panel. The shield ring stabilized. The glow of the shields returned to normal levels. Mira let out a relieved breath. She thanked the humans again. Aaron said the station reacted well, despite the waves. He said they should check the energy routes deeper inside the ring to make sure nothing else was damaged. They walked through the corridor and inspected each section. Humans used portable sensors. Aliens assisted by opening panels and showing hidden routes. The cooperation between species created a smooth team. Even during stress, they communicated respectfully. Inside one deeper chamber, they found a small leak in an energy tube. If left unrepaired, it could weaken the shield over time. Aaron asked Leanne to seal it. She worked with steady hands. The tube glowed softly once fixed. Farron watched with admiration and said humans had sharp technical skills. After hours of work, the entire shield ring was stabilized. The station could face another wave without danger. When the final readings displayed a safe status, Mira thanked everyone. Humans and aliens exchanged looks of relief and respect. Mira led the group back toward the central hall. As they walked, they passed many aliens who had heard about the humans' quick actions. Some raised their hands in greeting. Others bowed their heads. Many eyes showed deep trust. The humans looked humbled by the attention, but accepted it kindly. In the central hall, the council had gathered earlier than planned. They had received reports about the wave and the humans' actions. When Aaron and his team entered, the council rose from their seats. Mira introduced the humans once again and explained how they had worked through the shaking corridors to restore stability. The council leader, an elder named Damar, stepped forward. Damar was known for his calm voice and wise judgment. He said the humans showed courage, teamwork, and respect. He said the council saw strength in many species, but the humans carried a special balance that came from surviving a challenging world. Damar said Leora valued all forms of knowledge, including the knowledge gained from hardship. Aaron thanked the council. He said humans did not seek fame. He said they believed that every life had worth, and that protecting others was a natural responsibility. He said humans wished to be true allies. After a short silence, Damar spoke again. He said the council wanted to deepen cooperation. He said there was much the cluster could learn from the humans. He also said humans could learn from the calm wisdom of Leora. The hall filled with soft sounds of agreement. The council invited Aaron and his team to a grand gathering planned for the next day. They wished to honor the visitors and discuss future goals. Aaron accepted with respect. When the meeting ended, Mira walked with Aaron through a quiet section of the hall. She said the station felt different now. Aaron asked what she meant. Mira said many species noticed how humans stayed calm during danger. She said the people of Leora now saw humans not as unknown travelers, but as protectors and partners. Aaron felt grateful. He said humans did not come to lead or dominate. They came to share and grow. Mira nodded and said that this was the beginning of a strong bond. As the day ended, the lights of the station dimmed to night mode. Aaron and his team returned to their ship to rest. Mira watched the stars from her chamber window. She thought about the two energy waves. She wondered if the waves were natural or signs of something deeper. She knew new challenges might appear soon. But she also knew one thing with certainty. The next morning on Terra Prime was calm, but inside the main command dome, the air was heavy. Myra stood near the observation screen, watching the distant stars. She felt a pressure deep inside her, something between fear and excitement. She had always known the humans were strong, but now she realized they were also carrying a mystery even. They did not fully understand. Rohan entered the chamber with long steps. His face was serious, and his eyes showed clear focus. He looked at Mira and gave a small nod. He knew she had many questions. Everyone did. Each passing hour made the situation more strange. Every species in the Alliance had come with a straightforward explanation of their past. Only the humans had secrets hidden, even from themselves. Erin arrived after a moment, holding a data tablet close to her chest. Her usually calm face was tense. Mira looked at her and felt a strange heaviness. As if Erin was holding some truth too large for the rest of them to ignore. Rohan spoke first. He said that the Galactic Union had finally sent a message. They wanted an answer about the strange energy signature that followed the human ships. They wanted to know why the Deathworlders carried signals not found anywhere else in the galaxy. They wanted to understand the force that kept growing around the humans like a silent shield. Mira listened quietly. She was a historian of her people, but now she felt like she was witnessing the start of something new. She felt as if she was standing inside a story that would be told for centuries. Erin took a slow breath. She said she had more information. She had spent the entire night studying ancient human files. Some files were almost destroyed. Some felt incomplete. But she found patterns. Strange patterns that connected ancient Earth myths to the energy signals humans gave off now. Rohan's eyebrows rose. He asked how myths could have anything to do with science. Erin answered with steady confidence. She said that many myths across Earth spoke about humans being guided by visitors from the stars. It was common in old stories, tales of bright figures, impossible machines, and voices that came from the sky. For generations, humans believed these stories were just legends. Simple imagination. Erin now felt they might be memories humans never understood. Mira moved closer and asked, if this meant humans had some link to an ancient force. Erin nodded slowly. She did not want to jump to conclusions. She thought humans might have been part of a larger plan long before they discovered space travel. Rohan crossed his arms. He felt uneasy. He trusted human science. He believed in reason. But even he could not deny the strange facts. Every time humans reached a new planet, the energy around them grew stronger. The Deathworlders adapted to new environments faster than any species. They survived disasters with surprising unity. It was as if their bodies and minds carried some silent blueprint of progress. Mira turned to the observation window again and looked at the endless galaxy. She asked what they should do now. If humans were connected to something old, something powerful, would the Union understand or fear it? Rohan did not answer at once. He walked toward the center table and activated the star display. Countless points of light appeared around them. Stars, systems, and routes stretched across the room. He pointed to a region near the center. It was marked in red. Every other species avoided it. It was said to be unstable, filled with lost stations, dark anomalies, and strange silence. It was called the Hollow Zone. Erin felt a chill. She asked why he was showing them this place. Rohan explained that the energy signature matched signals coming from the Hollow Zone. He said the readings were faint but clear. This was the only location in the galaxy that produced the same type of frequency found around humans. Mira's breath caught. She asked if this meant humans came from there originally. Rohan shook his head. Earth's history showed they evolved naturally on their planet. But that did not mean something from the Hollow Zone had visited Earth long ago. Something that might have shaped their future without revealing its presence. Erin looked down at her data tablet. She whispered that if this was true, then the humans were not just Deathworlders. They were carriers of something dormant. Something that could wake when the right conditions were met. Silence entered the room. A long and deep silence. Rohan slowly said they should visit the Hollow Zone. It was risky, but they could not avoid this path. The Galactic Union would demand answers soon. If humans could not explain their energy link, others might start fearing them. Rohan knew fear could lead to misunderstanding, and misunderstanding could lead to conflict. He wanted to avoid that at all cost. Mira asked if they should inform the Union before leaving. Rohan said no. It was better to study the truth quietly first. If they learned something dangerous, they could decide how to share it. Carefully and calmly. Arin then added, they would need a strong team. The Hollow Zone was unpredictable. Many ships that entered never returned. She suggested they take only those who understood humans deeply. People who would not panic if something mysterious appeared. Rohan agreed. He said they would leave in 2 days. Enough time to prepare supplies, upgrade ship shields, and test their scanners. He also said Mira should join the mission as the main analyst. Mira was surprised but also proud. She accepted immediately. She wanted to understand the hidden story behind the Deathworlders. Later that day, the entire Terra Prime base started preparing. Engineers upgraded engines and shields. Pilots checked navigation routes. The medical unit prepared emergency kits. Everyone understood this mission was different from anything before. Myra spent the night reading everything known about the Hollow Zone. She found records of ancient ships that disappeared. She studied maps that showed strange distortions. She read reports of drifting stations with no life inside. She felt both fear and fascination. Erin worked in her lab, studying human DNA once again. The more she studied, the more she felt something inside the structure that did not match natural evolution. Something like a pattern, a quiet signal hidden inside the very shape of human life. Rohan stood on the balcony outside the command dome. He looked at the stars and felt a pressure in his chest. He knew humans were strong. He knew they had survived many challenges. But now he wondered if they were ready for the truth. He wondered if he was ready himself. 2 days later, their ship named Horizon 1 stood tall on the launch pad. Its silver frame shone under the station lights. The crew walked toward it with calm but serious steps. Mira carried a small notebook. Erin had her data tablet. Rohan had a quiet determination in his eyes. When the engines ignited, the ground shook slightly. The ship rose slowly into the sky and then burst into open space. As they passed the atmosphere, Myra felt her heart racing. They were leaving behind everything safe and stepping into the unknown. Rohan sat in the captain's seat and gave the order to set course for the Hollow Zone. Erin checked the scanners. She said the energy link grew stronger the closer they moved to that region. It felt like something was calling them. Hours passed. The stars around them changed. Space grew darker, and the routes became strange. Distortions flickered across the glass panels. The ship's lights dimmed slightly. Mira felt a cold shiver on her arms. She whispered that the place looked empty but heavy, as if space itself was watching them. Erin detected something ahead. A structure, a massive one. It hovered in the center of a silent cloud of dark matter. The station looked ancient, older than any known civilization. Its shape was unlike anything they had seen before. Smooth surfaces, endless rings, and a faint blue energy pulsing inside its walls. Rohan stood slowly. He felt a strange familiarity, as if he had seen this place in a forgotten dream. He ordered the ship to approach carefully. As they came closer, the station responded. A soft glow appeared on its surface. A signal reached the ship. The frequency was identical to the energy signature humans carried. Mira held her breath. She said this place might be the source of everything strange about the Deathworlders. Erin's voice was steady but shaking slightly. She said that whatever waited inside this station might change their understanding of the universe forever. Rohan looked at both of them. He said they had come too far to stop now. They had to learn the truth. Horizon 1 slowly entered the station's open gate. The darkness inside felt alive. The glow brightened. The energy signature grew stronger. Mira whispered that this place knew they had arrived, and the deeper they went, the more they realized the galaxy had been waiting for the Deathworlders for a very long time. Horizon 1 moved slowly through the long passage inside the ancient station. The walls around them glowed with soft blue lines that pulsed like a heartbeat. The air inside the ship felt warmer. Mira looked around with wide eyes. She felt like she was standing inside the memory of something old and powerful. Rohan stood at the front of the command deck. He watched the screen carefully. He did not understand why the station reacted to them, but he felt sure it had something to do with the strange energy humans carried. He had never believed in destiny, yet something inside him whispered that this moment was meant to happen. Erin worked at her console. Her hands moved quickly over the controls. She read the signals again and again. The readings were clear. The same energy found in human biology was flowing all around them now. It felt as if the station had been waiting for humans to return. She felt a strange calm, like the final piece of a puzzle was about to fall into place. The ship stopped when it reached a huge chamber. The center of the chamber held a floating sphere of bright blue light. It shimmered slowly as if breathing. The walls were covered in long patterns that looked like words from a forgotten language. Mira whispered that the place felt alive. Erin nodded. She said the sphere was a form of consciousness. Not a living body, but a storage of knowledge from an ancient civilization. Rohan listened quietly. He felt the energy growing stronger around him. He ordered Mira and Erin to prepare to exit the ship. They put on light suits and stepped into the chamber. The air felt calm and warm. The sphere brightened as they approached. The patterns on the walls shifted into new forms. Mira watched in awe. She felt her skin tingling softly as if the station recognized her. The sphere sent out a slow pulse of energy. The pulse touched the floor and moved in circles like ripples on water. Then a voice filled the chamber. It was not loud. It was calm, warm, and steady. It spoke in a language none of them had ever heard, but their suits translated it into simple words they could understand. The voice said that the Ancient Ones were called the Elders of the Core. They lived long before any known species existed. They traveled across the galaxy and guided the growth of young civilizations. They never showed themselves directly. They only left signals, seeds of knowledge, and energy patterns to help life grow stronger. Mira listened closely. Her heart was racing. Rohan felt a strange heaviness in his chest, as if he was listening to a long-forgotten truth. Erin felt her hand shaking slightly. She had spent her life studying alien biology, but she never imagined hearing a voice so old. The voice continued. It said that humans were not created by the Elders, nor were they changed directly. Instead, long ago, the Elders placed a special energy inside Earth's star, a quiet seed of strength that would influence life in a gentle way. It was not control, it was guidance. They believed one day a species would rise from that world with the courage to face the dangers of the galaxy. That species became humans. Mira felt her breath catch. She asked why the Elders chose Earth. The voice replied that Earth was a rare world. A world of storms, pressure, fire, and challenge. A world that pushed every living thing to grow stronger. The Elders knew that from such a place would grow a species with unmatched courage and adaptability. The station was built as a final message. A place that would open only when humans reached it on their own. A place that would test their strength. Not their weapons, but their unity. The voice said humans had passed that test simply by arriving without fear and without aggression. Rohan stood absolutely still. He felt a warmth rising inside his chest. He asked what the purpose of the energy around humans was. The voice said the energy was a gift of connection. It allowed humans to sense danger faster than most species. It helped them bond with each other in times of need. It gave them the ability to adapt to new environments with surprising speed. Mira asked if this meant humans were stronger than other species. The voice replied gently, strength was not the goal. Balance was the goal. The galaxy was full of worlds where life struggled. Some worlds needed a species that could inspire others. A species that could stand in difficult times and guide those who felt weak. Humans were not meant to rule. They were meant to uplift. Erin stepped forward. She asked why the energy kept growing. Every year the signature became stronger. The voice explained that the energy responded to emotional unity. When humans stood together with purpose, the energy grew. It grew during times of discovery. It grew during times of hope. It even grew when humans protected others. The voice said the energy would continue to grow as long as humans walked a path of courage and unity. Rohan then asked one final question. If the Galactic Union learned all of this, would they fear humans? The voice answered calmly. It said fear always came from the unknown, but truth brought understanding. The station existed for this reason. It held records and knowledge to share with the galaxy. It was not meant to hide secrets. It was meant to guide civilizations toward trust. The sphere of light then dimmed slowly. The patterns on the walls moved once more. The voice said the humans now carried the full message of the elders. It trusted them to share it wisely. It reminded them that the galaxy did not need a powerful leader. It needed a balanced protector. The sphere brightened one last time. Then the chamber fell into calm silence. The voice was gone. For a long moment, none of them spoke. Mira wiped a small tear from her eye. She felt overwhelmed, but also peaceful. Erin rested her hand on the wall. She felt the energy through her fingers. Rohan breathed deeply. He felt as if a heavy fog had lifted from his shoulders. They returned to Horizon 1. The ship's engines came alive gently. As they left the station, the blue glow behind them slowly faded. The gate closed as if the station was falling asleep again. Mira watched it through the window. She whispered that the galaxy would never be the same after this day. The journey back to Terra Prime took hours. During the flight, Erin organized all the data. She found records that matched the Elder's message. She created a clear map showing how the energy linked humans to the Hollow Zone. Rohan prepared a full report. He wanted to share the truth with the Galactic Union, but he wanted to do it with calm explanation. When they arrived at Terra Prime, the base crew rushed to greet them. Everyone saw the change in Rohan, Myra, and Erin. Their faces looked calm and clear. They carried a new kind of confidence. Later that evening, the three of them stood before the Galactic Union Council through a hologram meeting. Rohan explained everything. He spoke slowly and clearly. He explained the elders, the energy, the purpose of the Deathworlders. The Union members listened with wide eyes. Some looked surprised. Some looked thoughtful. But none looked afraid. Mira added her findings. Erin presented the biological evidence. Together, their voices created a picture of unity and truth. When they finished, the council gave a long moment of silence. Then one of the oldest representatives said that the humans were not a threat. They were a promise. A promise that the galaxy could grow stronger together. The council agreed to open the Hollow Zone as a protected research region. They asked humans to lead the research effort with guidance from other species. They believed this knowledge would help the galaxy prepare for future challenges. In the following months, Terra Prime changed. The alliance grew stronger. Humans became known not only as the Deathworlders, but also as the stewards of balance. Many species felt inspired by their courage. Some even asked humans to help them rebuild damaged worlds. Rohan, Mira, and Erin became symbols of understanding. Their stories spread across the stars. Children on many planets learned about the day. When humans entered the ancient station and brought back the truth of the elders, one night, long after the events had settled, the three of them stood on a balcony overlooking the stars. Mira smiled softly. Erin said she still felt the energy inside her growing. Rohan said the galaxy felt less divided now. Myra looked up at the sky and whispered that the elders had chosen well. Humans had become the bridge that connected many worlds. They were no longer just survivors from a harsh planet. They were guardians of hope. And the galaxy, once filled with fear and uncertainty, now moved forward with new strength. A strength born not from dominance but from unity.